Alright, let's try and get this grid sorted. For anyone, again, who doesn't know why this is possible, Rockstar released all the new cars early. So that's why we're going to do a race between Pisswasser Dominators and Dominator GTXs. The Dominator GTX 700k. It's a lot for a muscle car. But I feel like we've had price gouging to the extreme so much now that we think that 725k is reasonable. So all the Pisswasser Dominators starting at the back. We shall see if any of these can end up at the front ahead of all the Dominator GTXs. Okay, well I need to go somewhere, but never mind. So, here we go. All Dominator race. Oh my god, the Pisswasser is so much quicker already. Holy cow. Immediately, just on that short run to the first corner, it just pulls away. Yeah, I'll take a boost. That'll do me. I'll have a boost. Oh my god, it's so much quicker. It's so much quicker. Crash. Dominator GTX not going to be winning any top speed records, I don't think. That long back straight's going to hurt it. It's got good traction, actually. Oh, it's got no speed. It does have good traction. It's like it feels like a slow sports car. It feels kind of like a Buffalo, maybe. Feels like it would be on sort of Buffalo pace. The 108 to 1010 mark on first impressions. Okay, so there's only one Pisswasser Dominator, but we'll see. We got like 4 Dominator GTXs behind us, and then a sea of Pisswassers. We'll see where they end up by the end of the straight. But the GTX is going to be even worse in the city. Oh my god, they're so much quicker. Look at the speed difference. The GTX is god-awful in terms of top speed. I mean, the Pisswasser Dominator is particularly good, to be fair, but the GTX is going to be even worse in the city because of the new handling flags. All the bumps and everything. Every single bump it hits, it's going to get slowed down. So this track is making the GTX look even better than what it is. It does have good traction. It does feel just like a sports car. It doesn't feel like a muscle car. All these GTXs are upgraded, yes. And again, the way that we were able to do this is that Rockstar released them early for the... Damn it. Rockstar released them early for 15 minutes accidentally, and if you were online for those 15 minutes, you were able to buy all the new cars that are being drip fed in over the next month. And then they quickly removed them or disabled them, but if you kept your PS4 on and didn't close the game, you were able to keep it. And that's what iRaymen was able to do. He's respawned them all for us. Thankfully. It's got a lot of grip. It does have a lot of grip. It does. It's probably got the most grip of all the muscle cars. It just suffers from the handling flags, so every single bump's going to slow it down. It's got no top speed even on flats, you know, as we've seen already on the flat back straight. So, into 4th, but all the GTXs started ahead of all the Pisswater Dominators. Now that we're kind of into the race a little bit, we're not fighting with people, so I can really try to give it the beans around the corners. See how it compares. Still got GTXs behind me, we got no Pisswaters coming up just yet. But since Pisswaters all started at the back, it takes a lot longer for them all to come through, to be fair. I'm catching up to 3rd place in the Pisswater. Around the corners. It's so bouncy. Yep, that's the new handling flags. All the new cars are bouncy. All the new cars are going to be slower across bumps and all that kind of stuff. We got 3 new sports classics. They'll all come at the same time in about a month's time. And then we got the Dominator GTX will be released alongside the Tyrant. Which is, oh my god, the speed difference. I heard him go off the throttle at least 3 times there. Just to... Oh my days. It's so much better in the corners than anything else. It's got so much more grip. It is like the Elegy of the Muscles class in terms of traction. It just doesn't have any kind of speed. And it'll be terrible on bumpy circuits because of the handling flags. It'll just be slow as hell. Again, this car isn't out yet. It won't be coming for maybe another week or so. Alright, so we've got AG and Flaming and Nightmare. I think those 3, 5th, 6th and 7th, they're all in Pisswater Dominators. They're all good drivers. So it'll be interesting to see now that they've made their way from the back of the pack through all the other Dominators, how they compare to the top 3 in GTXs, whether they can overhaul us in the next few laps. There's only a lap and a half to go, I guess. And yeah, we're not going to get another fully fledged DLC until at least June. And we've got 2 more batches of cars, so the entirety of May is going to be all drip feeding. First the Tyrant and the Dominator GTX to be released together, and then 3 sports classics probably towards the end of the month. In between that it will just be game modes, no new vehicles. It does remind me of a Buffalo. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets a similar lap time in the testing to the Buffaloes. See, I'm catching up a lot to the Pisswater Dominator in the corners. Round the outside. It's exactly what I was talking about. Round the outside. That's how much grip it's got. Last time I did that, I was in a Wagner going around the outside of entities. I should say, new entities, XXRs. If anyone remembers that video. I had to go defensive, but he's going to get me anyway. Interesting. This is really interesting. I feel like this car will have very, very specific circumstances where it will be quickest in the class. They're still catching me though, those piss bosses. They're going to have the better lap time overall, I think. But if it was, say, if it was just the Sandy Shores section of this track, for example. Tasty little overtake. Lick the stamp. Sent it. Yeah, if it was just the Sandy Shores section, this GTX would be 100% dominant over, I think, anything else in this class. I mean, the Yosemite's pretty good on traction, but I think this is even better. But again, as soon as it gets on a city circuit, it's going to just be left behind, even on a corner-heavy track, because of all the bumps. All these three Dominators are going to be past me before I get to the next corner. They're all going to be past me. Goodbye. So I think we can safely say that when you get the top speed testing for this car, it's not going to be number one. It's not going to be anywhere close to number one, I don't think. That's at least a good 5 to 10 mile per hour deficit, that. But then we caught right back up in the corners. GP2 engine. Yes. Jesus. That was going off-road and it was still able to just have the same speed as me on-road. I've hit him. I knew I've hit him. Damn it. Sorry, Flaming. Misjudged that big time. There goes the top 5 position. See how dominant it is in the corners like this? If it was just this part of the track only, not the rest of it. Like the closing, that's why I got caught out, because the closing speeds are just insane. I'm braking so much later because it's got so much more grip. And then I just don't have the power to keep it. And then those bumps actually slowed me down and helped me. Good race though. Good race. We'll see what the lap times are. GTX has won, but they're not going to have the best lap time. I think they won because they were standing at the front and got away. Almost top 5. Almost managed to keep it. Best GTX lap time was a 3:43. Best Pisswasser Dominator lap time was a 3:39. So a good 4.5 seconds per lap difference. Yeah, that's pretty significant. Alright, let's replay, but with the Tyrant, since the Tyrant and the GTX are going to be released together. This time we should do, like we did with the Entity XXR, Wagner's versus Tyrants, and we'll see how that works out. That car, the GTX, will be very dominant in a tiny amount of situations. A flat track, a flat corner-heavy track, is the only situation where it will be dominant. If it's a corner-heavy track with bumps or inclines, it's going to be useless. If it's got any amount of straight, it'll be useless. But it will have some use. So the Tyrant. I almost feel like this is going to be another Entity XXR all over again, where it's just going to be absolutely hopeless. Not many people wanting the Tyrant. Is that a sign of things to come, that it's got awful? How much is this again? 2.5 million, right? Good lord. Alright. Oh my god, the speed difference already! We've only just got off the line! Oh my god, this is slow as balls. And that was just straights with against cars that aren't even known for having good top speed or acceleration. Come on. Might be the only overtake I get done on a top 4 car today. And didn't even get to keep it because it kept the grip around the outside, of course. I got a Wagner behind me, I can hear it. That Wagner is going to come past me something fierce soon enough. Isn't this the car that has like a downforce value of 3? Like, it does feel, you know, grippy. It's just not quick. And then again, you get it into a city area, and it's going to be even slower. Because every single bump is going to make it slower. It's not. It's not done too bad for the top speed. It's not as if the Wagner's closing in too much. It is now, actually. But we're talking a few miles per hour less rather than... there he goes up the inside. Hang it around the outside maybe. Ugh. This thing doesn't have good acceleration. I think that's what it is. Its brakes aren't really great. I mean, that Wagner is not having any issues staying behind me. I think it's another Entity XXR situation. It's not bad in terms of top speed. It's just terrible everywhere else. But if anything, it feels a little bit quicker than the Entity because it has good grip, more downforce. It's certainly not a top 4 vehicle. We can say that already. That Wagner is itching to get past. Oh my days! What kind of hitbox does this car have? I've only ever seen that happen with Z-types. With the slanted rear. Okay, well there goes 5th place again. Oh yeah, there are no brake lights on this car. You guys were saying that in the chat, and I've now just... Let me turn all lights off. See if I get some brake lights magically. Oh my god. Oh, Rockstar, what are you doing? What are you doing? You've got to turn your full lights off to get brake lights. Brake lights are the same as just rear lights now, it seems. Oh my god. To be fair, that Wagner is not pulling away as quickly as I thought it would. Tail lights, that'll do me. That's the word I was looking for, maybe. So we can either have brake lights or tail lights. Oh, what a scumbag. Crow 1 with the 5 months in a row. Thank you so much, man. Okay, the Wagner is now up into 3rd place, I think. It's working its way nicely. Through the pack. It's not having any difficulty overtaking us, let's put it that way. But it's not Entity XXR levels of slow, the Tyrant. It's just not going to be in the top 4. It could be in that sort of top pack. Oh, I'll take these positions, thank you. Alright, this is the true test. We've got K-Dog. Oh, Fleming must have caused that incident. He's having to wait. Okay, I was going to say we had K-Dog in the Tyrant ahead and the Wagner in 2nd place to chase him down, but obviously that's not going to happen now. Again, it's going to be worse in the city because of the bumps, but I feel like the Tyrant is saved by its grip, its downforce. Its top speed is okay. Oh my god, its brakes aren't the best. Its acceleration isn't the best. But it does have good grip. It could be around Tesseract pace around my testing track at least. Maybe a little bit slower. Can't believe we don't have brake lights though when we have the lights on, tail lights on. That's just ridiculous. Okay, I'll take that. Saw that one coming a mile away. It's not bad for top speed. It's around, I would say, 125 miles per hour levels of top speed, maybe 126. So it's not bad. And it does have good grip, it just doesn't have good acceleration. Brakes are pretty average. Oh, they've crashed again. 2nd and 3rd. Alright, Wagner's in 2nd. Yeah, it's got good grip this. You can just full throttle it around all the corners. It doesn't have the power, the engine power, to really have any issues. Feels like a very easy car to corner with. Alright, so we got the Wagner ahead of us. Clear track. Let's see how much he can pull away. 3:22 lap time. That's not too bad. I mean, the Pariah can get like a 3:16, so this is definitely much slower than a Pariah, at least on this track. And that's in the sports class. But that's around old supercar levels of lap time. Sort of the Osiris level, I would say. So it's not bad, this car. It's not Entity XXR levels of bad. It's just not top 4 levels of good, basically, I think. I can hear it. I can hear it behind me. Oh, I've messed it up. I messed it up big time. God damn it. There goes the top 5 again. I messed it up again. God damn it. So coming to the end of the race, like the gap between the top 2 really isn't that much. The Wagner has caught up significantly. I'm going to be interested to see what the lap times are in the end. But yeah, this car is definitely not a top 4 car. We can say that much. You don't need to be worrying about having to get this instead of a Wagner, for example. But it's not as bad as the Entity. I feel like they're designing cars for stunt racers these days. That's why they're better on stunt tracks. Maybe it'll be good in that respect, but not for regular racing. So, yeah, it was a 6-second difference in lap time. The best Wagner was a 3:14 and the best Tyrant was a 3:20. So 6 seconds is quite a lot, to be fair, even on a track like that. Like I said, definitely not a top 4 car.